Hello, guys. I'm just listening to Sam talking about this report that Mourinho wants to come back. He's got unfinished business here at Manchester United. I know I don't have a whole lot of people to follow me, but I was a big defender of Jose at the end. I think the players let him down. I think if he had the right backing, I think we would have. I'm not going to say we'd have kept or catched up with City. Uh, we were still like 20 points behind them, but I think it would have been closer. To say that. Um, I've always liked Mourinho. I do I want him back? No, at this point, I want Ten Hag to be the team or the coach that's going to be here for 10 or 15 years. I want us to challenge in the Premiership. I want us to challenge in Europe. Um, but you got to understand this. This is how they make their money. These clits, people are like, what? And people click on it and they read it, and the chances are with the people who are going to bring in with Ineos, I don't think he would be the guy that they would go after if something happened to Ten Hag. Um, but I still love him. I thought that he was smart. He waited until the right time to come for Manchester United. He was later in life. I thought that he would be the answer. I did. I actually did. And there were times that we looked very good. Now, he plays a certain way, and sometimes people call that boring. Um, I don't necessarily call that way. I mean, he makes sure that we're going to get points, and that's his big thing. And he knows how to get trophies. His only issue for me was, of course, at the end. Shit happens when this happens with him, but is that in the Champions League we didn't play really well with him, and after losing at home to Sevilla, or was it Sevilla? You know, what he actually said after the game was probably correct. So, but he's the coach, and he's got to make sure that we're ready to play at home, and we weren't ready to play, and they outplayed us, they out physical us, and played against us, and all that stuff, and that's his job. So I am not going to bash the man because I love the dude. I do. I think that he's smart. I think that he's a figurehead. Sometimes you would need a big club like this. Um, I thought that was at that time was his life. I think it was a good time for him to come here. I think that he was kind of he wanted two or three different players that he wasn't allowed to get, and I think that he felt that he wasn't getting the backing that he really needed for us to be the same level as City. We needed certain players. He brought guys in that played under his system, older guys, uh, Slatman and the midfielder. I can't remember his name at this point. Matic. But he's kind of a guy that always wants guys that are already the finished article. He doesn't really develop anything. Um, so we don't really have that anymore. And we have this great youth team underneath 118 teams that's undefeated this year. I don't know what that's going to mean. Is that 1992 reborn? Are these guys going to come up and be on the first team in the next couple of years? And if is Ten Hag using the same type of system? I don't know this. If somebody is watching Manchester United and the youth team, do they play the way that Ten Hag wants to play the first team plays? If that's what we're doing, and these guys are doing it well at that level, that might be good. When they get to the first team, and then we have the style, and maybe we'll start dominating like we did. The 99 or 92 teams come up and changed everything for us. I hope that's what happens. Hope we're just not getting guys and just loaning them off and selling them off like we're doing with Palestri and other guys. I think these guys that got to the first team are still good enough to play for Manchester United. They don't get enough time, and that's the whole thing about Ahmad not getting any time at all in the last game in the FA Cup. And those are the things I have problems with Ten Hag with. But Solskjaer was that way too. He had his favorites. But anyway, right now, of course not. I want Ten Hag to have the backing, and I want him to have his style of play and all his players back, and see what happens. And I don't give a shit if we finish 10th this year. He should not get the sack. Hopefully for him, he wins the FA Cup. I mean, it didn't help. It didn't help Van Gaal. He was fourth, or he tied for fourth, and ended up being fifth or whatever it was that year. So we weren't in Champions League, but he won a cup, and then he was fired that same day. I don't think this will happen. Again, I don't know. Maybe Ineos will come in and get rid of everything. They've been hinting that all this other shit's going to be gone from Manchester United. So maybe they'll take the coach out. But I'm thinking, who in world football can take this on? You're not going to get the guy from Leverkusen to come here. If he comes in the Premiership, he's going to replace Klopp. You're not going to get you're not going to get guys that are going to come here unless there's a guys that they know from France, because they had the other team there. So there might be somebody over there that they'll bring in. But I mean, like I said, I like the dude. Always have. I hated him. I mean, I loved him when he was at Chelsea, and even though they destroyed us, our dreams for winning the Champions League, I loved him when he was at Porto. So, and I loved him when he was at Juve. Juve. No, that's where Ronaldo went. Inter, when they won the Champions League, and at Madrid, the type of player, the team that they played. And he's just a good, and of course I like Van Gaal as well. I was really late when it comes to those two coaches. I think I was in the same area when it comes to Solskjaer. I think that the players had just he was too buddy with them, and we needed guys in that were gonna be more disciplinarian. And then we try to do that, and people get upset because he lays down the law, and now they're like, "Oh, he just missed training or something like that." That's the other thing. But for right now, we stick with the plan. Please, if there's anybody in the comments could tell me, does the youth team, I have M2UV, so I could probably watch the youth team. Do they actually play the style that he wants in the first team? Just a question I just had. Let me know. You guys have a good day. Bye.